I'm not one to buy into the narratives created by community discourse. I've never bought into the revolutionary female character line that people spouted when Jujutsu Kaisen first came out, because people tend to say that about every new hyped up shonen. But man, I really liked Nobara. Clearly a girl, clearly proud of her feminine traits, but still a competent warrior with a very fun personality. She didn't have a crippling crush on one of the other leads, there's no fan service, etc. Not anything too special, even amongst shonen, but it was cool to see, and something Gege had over some of his most famous predecessors. But ever since chapter 125, when half of Nobara's face was blasted off, we haven't gotten anything of her. We see Mahito maim her, we get some suggestions that she's dead but it's never outright confirmed, and then nothing. As of the recording of this video, we're at chapter 244. Over 120 chapters have passed, and we still haven't caught up with her. She's been out for nearly half the manga now, to the point where it's impossible to call her a main character, or even a main supporting character, with people like Yuta and Maki now far surpassing her in importance. Now, if I'm being entirely honest, even before her disappearance, cracks were beginning to form in Nobara's character, to the point where I'd make the claim that she was going down a very unfortunate path that seems to plague women in shonen. The path of irrelevance. To illustrate my point, I'd like to briefly discuss perhaps the most iconic female shonen character in the West, Sakura. Now, Sakura and Nobara are two very different characters with different issues, but I'd argue that Kishimoto and Gege gave them the exact same core problem. When we are first introduced to the three primary members of Team 7, we learn pretty quickly what they're all about. Naruto's goal is to become Hokage, and he's the host of the Nine-Tailed Fox. Sasuke is the last of his clan, and wants revenge on the person who ruined his life. And Sakura is some girl. Sakura's issues are systemic to her character. Despite the fact that she should theoretically be one of the three most important characters, her lack of relevance, bloodline, and special technique leave her lackluster relative to the other two. Even when she receives some shine in early part 2, she effectively just becomes the second Tsunade, as far as fighting skill and ability rather than her own fully fleshed out character. And because she doesn't have any immediate relevance to the main plot of the story besides being friends with Naruto and Sasuke, she falls far beyond the main duo, who are each thoroughly invested in their own narratives. Jujutsu Kaisen seems to have been following an unfortunate but similar pattern. Yuji is the host of Sukuna, and because of this is one of the most important characters in the setting. He also has an abnormal amount of physical speed and durability for reasons we find out later. Megumi is the son of infamous sorcerer killer Toji, the direct apprentice of Gojo, who's the strongest character in the setting, and immediately grabs the special attention of series antagonist Sukuna. Nobara, in contrast, wanted to move to the big cities to get away from a small town she grew up in, and wants to someday reunite with her two childhood friends. She holds little personal connection to what now seems to be the main plot, beyond being friends with Yuji and Megumi. She was already somewhat lagging behind the other two in ability in the story. If she comes back now, unless she had a massive training arc off screen, she'd still be lagging behind her peers in ability. And even if she did have one, she'd still be lagging behind them in relevance, and the connections they've made without her in the overall narrative. She simply isn't important to the story, and it's unfortunate that despite all the interest her character initially drummed up, she seems to be going down the same route as her most infamous predecessor. I still have some hope for her character, but with the Gege saying that they want to end the series in the next few years, that hope is dwindling fast. But I'm just one guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It really helps me out, and I'll see you guys next time.